One,
Una,
change what you're thinking.
cambia la manera de pensar.
If you're afraid, okay, your brain is a tool.
Fíjate, tu cerebro es una herramienta.
Your brain wants to protect you from getting hurt.
Tu cerebro lo que quiere es protegerte de que no te lastimen.
So if you don't understand how your brain works,
Si tú no entiendes cómo funciona tu cerebro,
you're going to fail.
vas a fallar, vas a fracasar.
You're going to struggle.
Se te va a poner difícil la
If
cosa.
you understand how your brain works, it's going to empower you and you're going to win in everything that
Una
you
vez
do.
que tú entiendes cómo funciona tu cerebro, entonces vas a ganar.
So look, this is how your brain works. You ready?
Fíjate, así es como funciona el cerebro. ¿Listos?
Are you ready?
¿Listos?
Yes? Are you paying attention? This will
¿Están
change your
poniendo
life.
atención? Ahora, esto les va a cambiar la vida, chavos.
All right. So when you have a problem
Cuando tienes un problema
and you're looking at it as a problem,
y lo estás viendo como un problema,
man, this is a problem.
híjole, este es un problemón.
It matters a lot on how you're going to look at this problem.
Importa mucho la manera en que tú vas a ver este problema.
If you start to think like, oh, why right
Si tú
now?
empiezas a preguntar, pero ¿por qué toda
This
la
is not
vida
a good time.
me pasa esto? ¿Por qué ahorita no es momento?
You are generating a low quality energy.
Ya desde ahí estás generando una energía de baja calidad.
And your brain is saying, oh, this is bad.
Y tu cerebro entonces lo enfoca, lo identifica y dice, oh, esto es malo.
If that equals pain to me,
Si eso significa dolor para mí,
I'm going to want to avoid it.
lo voy a querer evitar.
But there's so many things in life
Pero hay muchas cosas en la vida
that you must do,
que debes hacer.
but your brain's going to look at it as pain.
Sin embargo, tu cerebro las va a ver como un dolor.
And you're going to do it anyways because you must.
Y tú lo vas a hacer de todas maneras porque es tu deber hacerlas.
But as you're doing it, you're going to suffer
Pero mientras las estás haciendo, vas a sufrir.
because your brain does not want to do it.
Porque tu cerebro no quiere que lo hagas.
So you have to learn how to reprogram your brain
Entonces es importante aprender cómo reprogramar el cerebro
so that my brain is not looking at this problem
para que mi cerebro no se enfoque en este problema
as pain.
como algo que me va a dar dolor.
So I need to look past the problem
Entonces necesito ver más allá del problema.
into the potential, into what is possible.
Debo ver mucho más adelante de eso, en el potencial que tiene, en lo que puede ser posible después de arreglar este problema.
I'll give you a very practical example.
Por ejemplo, les voy a dar un ejemplo muy práctico.
Let's say you want to lose weight.
Vamos a decir que quieren perder peso.
Okay? So, okay, I want to lose weight.
Ok, quiero perder peso.
I have my goal.
Tengo mi meta.
I'm excited. I'm going to lose
Estoy
weight.
contento, voy a perder peso.
The New Year's resolution.
Ok, es mi New Year's resolution.
So
No sé
you-
cómo se dice. Así, la resolución de año nuevo.
So you're excited.
Entonces estás
And you go
emocionado.
buy some new clothes,
Hasta te vas y te compras ropa
a new
nueva.
workout outfit.
Pero eso sí, todo tu traje
You're like,
para hacer
okay,
ejercicios.
I'm going to lose
Y
weight.
estás listo y convencido de que vas a perder peso.
And then you wake up.
Y entonces te levantas.
Your brain starts to think,
Y
I have to get up.
el cerebro te empieza a decir,
I have to get
me
ready.
tengo que parar,
I have to go to the
me
gym.
tengo que arreglar,
I'm going to have to do
tengo
weights.
que ir al
I'm
gimnasio,
going to have to run.
voy a tener que hacer pesas
Oh, man, I
y
hate
correr.
running.
Ay,
I
odio
don't
correr.
like- So your brain starts to think of all of that.
Entonces tu cerebro empieza a pensar todas estas cosas
And it starts to think of it as pain.
y empieza a identificarlas como un dolor.
So guess what? Your brain's going to
¿Y
want
qué
to give
pasa?
you so many excuses your
El
brain's going to give you
cerebro
right now
te va a traer un montón de excusas y pretextos para que no
of why
vayas
you
al gym,
shouldn't do it.
de por qué no lo deberías hacer.
You understand?
¿Entiendes?
So you have to learn how to use your brain.
Entonces deben entender cómo
How?
usar su cerebro. ¿Cómo?
How?
¿Cómo?
So if that story is bad
Entonces, si esta historia es mala
and it's generating a low quality energy,
y
I'm not going
está
to go and,
generándome
I'm not motivated.
una energía de mala calidad, no estoy motivado.
so I'm going to change my story.
Entonces me tengo que cambiar la historia.
Okay, what if
¿Qué pasaría?
I go to the gym anyways?
Voy al gimnasio de todas maneras.
Even though I don't feel like it.
Aunque mi cuerpo diga no y mi cerebro me diga que me quede en la camita,
What if I go anyways?
¿qué pasaría si de todas maneras voy?
And what if I did this for every day for a
¿Y
month?
qué pasaría si voy todos los días por un mes?
And picture yourself doing it every day for a month.
E imagínense yendo al gimnasio todo el mes.
How would you feel?
¿Cómo se sentirían?
Would you feel good or bad?
¿Se sentirían bien o mal?
If you feel good, are you going to walk taller?
Si se sienten bien,
Or-
¿van a caminar más erguidos o así?
Are you going to be more confident?
¿Van a tener más seguridad en ustedes mismos?
So you need to tell your brain that's what's
Sí.
going to happen.
Ustedes necesitan decirle a su cerebro que eso es lo que va a pasar
Like-
si van al
Like
gimnasio.
brain, let me tell you something, brain.
Mira, cerebro, déjame
This is
decirte algo.
good. This is good
Esto
for us.
está bien para nosotros.
Yes, you're going to struggle, you're going to sweat, you're going to get tired.
Sí, voy a sudar, me voy a cansar, no me gusta hacer pesas
But
ni correr,
after,
pero
your
después,
self-esteem is going to go up.
después mi seguridad
But after,
y
you're
mi
going to feel more
autoestima
confident.
se verá hasta el cielo.
You're going to look good in front of the
Me
mirror.
voy a ver muy bien frente al espejo.
You have to recreate a story
Debes de recrear una historia nueva
that equals pleasure,
que iguale placer,
that equals good benefits.
que iguale buenos beneficios.
That's how I began to transform
Así es como vas a
This
comenzar
fear
a transformar el
into
miedo
a fuel to go forward and accomplish it.
entre una energía que te va a empujar a que logres tus sueños.
So you got to learn how to change the story.
Así que deben aprender a cambiar la historia.
So tell your neighbor,
Dile al vecino,
change the story.
cambia la historia.
When we are accomplishing goals, when we're accomplishing anything in life, we have to understand that we have a tool that will help us to win or overcome anything. But this same tool will also limit us and stop us from moving forward. And this tool is called your brain. Your brain is so powerful, and it'll either be the tool that will help you to succeed or to fail, to be unlimited where everything is possible, or feel limited where you feel like you're not good enough or that you can't. It all starts between the ears. It's all in your thought process, your mindset, and your belief system, your value system. It all starts in your mind, because your brain is going to determine your behavior, it's going to determine your emotional state, it's going to determine your action. Everything that you create in your future starts in your brain. And actually, when you think about it, all the physical things that you see around here, this physical thing, everything physical was first assembled in the invisible. Everything that you see, that you can actually see, feel, touch, smell, all the physical, visible things, all those things were first created in the invisible. Think about that. All those things were first a thought. Those things were first an idea, right? It's like, oh, it's a dream of something like, you know what, I think this is possible. I can see it. It's something that was first an idea, something that you assembled in the invisible, in your imagination. And that's a powerful thing, your imagination. Your imagination is not this pretend center, right? Like we're taught to like, oh, this is where kids have their pretend friends and pretend ideas. Like this is more than just a pretend center. Your imagination is a place where you're actually creating your future, creating your life, creating the quality of it. It all starts your imagination. So the first place you need to take your belief to, you need to take your passion to, is in your imagination, because this is where you're creating your future. Your thoughts become your world. Think about that one. Your thoughts become your world. Your thoughts are your future in seed form. Everything that's happening internally will begin to determine and define your outward reality. It all starts within you. It all starts in your brain. That's how important, that's how powerful your brain is. So let's get into how your brain works when it comes to accomplishing goals, okay? Because every one of us wants to accomplish something, right? And if we're not, we don't really feel good about ourselves. Our self-esteem, our self-confidence begins to go down. But on the other end, when you begin to accomplish things, when you set your mind to something and you move forward and you accomplish, it builds your self-esteem, builds your confidence, it builds your courage to be able to do more. And you start to create this momentum where you're creating this powerful future and you're impacting everybody who is around you. So how do we use our brain in a way where we'll win? This is how. So your brain has this mechanism called fight or flight. And when your brain is perceiving, feeling, receiving information through what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling, you know, all my senses are bringing in information towards me, bringing information to my brain. And now my brain is going to decide if this is good or if it's bad, if it's something that I need to, you know, run away from, flight, or if it's something I need to generate adrenaline to try to fight so I can defend and protect myself. You know, what do I need to do with this information? My brain is going to determine that. And my brain determines that according to different things that happened in our past. So if we have issues in our past that we haven't dealt with, those things become, more sensitive triggers or buttons that really make it hard for you to make certain decisions because you're not sure. You don't know if you should. What you think you should do is not in alignment with how you're feeling. So therefore, now what you choose to do, you're not sure because what you think and how you feel, they're not matching. So this creates a conflict. This creates an anxiety in you. This creates procrastination. This creates, indecisiveness because you're not sure because what you think and what you feel, they're not communicating. They're not in agreement. So because of that, you're not going to take action because you're not clear. Again, your brain wants to protect you. Your brain wants you to live. It wants to protect you. So when your brain is perceiving something that's going to cause you pain in any way, your brain will start to develop all these rights and reasons, these excuses, these things to get you to go away from it, to move away from it. Now, if your brain perceives, ooh, this is good, or this is going to produce something good for me, some benefits. If your brain starts to see pleasure, starts to see goodness attached to that where you're going or that person or that thing, that situation, whatever, now your brain's going to create all these rights and reasons, all these rules, all these things to get you go towards this thing you're picturing rather than moving away from it. So all depending on how you're looking at it, how you're perceiving it, if it's going to create pleasure or if it's going to create pain. If it creates pleasure for you, your brain's going to want you to move towards it. If it creates pain for you, your brain's going to want you to move away from it. So when we understand that, it actually sets us up to be unstoppable, unmovable when we understand how our brain works, because now knowing that, we can actually program our brain to see certain things that we have to do as a good thing. Because this is what happens a lot. When, as a mother, as a father, as a business owner, as a leader, there's going to be so many things that you have to do, that you must do, but you don't want to, that you don't really like to do, right? We all have those things. Those things that you have to do around the house, those things you have to do for your kids, those things you have to do for your business. You don't really necessarily like it. It doesn't bring joy to you. It doesn't bring pleasure to you. You actually don't like it. You hate doing it, but you have to do it, right? You know those things? Well, you can actually program your brain to not suffer as you're doing it because you have to do it anyways, right? So knowing that you have to do it anyways, how about we change our perspective about this thing? And now it's not this pain. It doesn't equal pain. It equals pleasure now. And this is you programming your brain to look at it differently. You have to look past this problem, past this pain, into that which is the potential, into what is possible now, so that you can see past it, so you can see the benefits of going through it. If you don't see the benefits of going through pain, you're going to avoid it. You're not going to go through it. You're just going to stop it and go around it. And you're not going to do it. Now you're going to miss out on so much wisdom, so much self-development, so much, building your character because you didn't go through it, and it limits you in your life. So we need to learn how to reprogram. So we get to those things that you have to do, right? Let's say you have to clean your garage, just for a simple example. And you don't want to clean your garage. Every time you walk by it, you start looking at all this crap in the garage, and it's like, and then your brain starts to pull up all this information of you imagining you carrying all this stuff, taking it down, opening it up, organizing this, throwing this away, and then all of a sudden the way you're looking at it is like, that doesn't look fun. That doesn't look pleasurable at all. That looks like a bunch of pain. I don't really want to do that. Heck no, I don't want to do that. Now all of a sudden my brain's pulling up all these different things to strengthen that belief. Now I'm going to avoid it. Now I'm going to be like, oh, well, I do need to do that, but actually this is more important. Everything else is going to become more important because your brain is going to avoid that. It's going to figure it out. Now, if I know I need to, if it's a must, if it's something that's important, that's actually going to create something good for me, I need to show my brain that. I need to program my brain. I need to envision my brain to see past this as a problem. I need to see it as something that's going to create something good for me. And the more clear I am about that, the more my brain will begin to want to accomplish it. Now my brain is going to create and generate excuses to do it. Now my brain is going to generate and create these reasons, these strong reasons, these strong whys of why I need to go towards that thing, why I need to do it, why I need to accomplish it, why do I need to overcome this, why I need to deal with this problem. When I'm clear on the why and how it's good for me, I'm programming my brain, and my brain is going to create an emotion in me that says, yeah, it's not the best thing. Yeah, I don't love it, but I know this is good for me. And now I'm not suffering as I'm doing it because I already have to do it anyways. It's a must. So why suffer? So now reprogramming my brain, now I see this as a good thing. It's creating a whole different emotional state in myself. And now guess what? Now in this high quality state that I've created because I'm looking at this in a more positive way, now I'm creating a positive energy in me, a more powerful energy in me. Guess what? Now that's going to help me to accomplish this thing even more. Now I'm not only enjoying the process, but I'm doing it in a higher quality state. So I have higher quality thoughts, higher quality ideas and solutions to be able to get this done. So now my actions, my execution is a higher quality. And guess what? My benefits, the results, my future is higher quality. That's how it works. So your brain is a tool. If you want to accomplish something, you need to look at it. You need to program yourself to be like, look, you have to do this. Why? Because it's good for you. It's going to produce this. The more detailed information you give your brain, the more images, the more movement, the more colors, the more details in the images that you're creating in your imagination about accomplishing that one thing or overcoming that one problem or confronting that one person. You know, those things that you really don't want to do, those things you're avoiding. The more that you look at that and get clear on like, this is good for me. Write it out. Imagine all the benefits of you accomplishing it, how it's going to benefit you, benefit those that are around you, that you love, your pocket, how much money you're going to make. The more benefits that you see that you're going to get, that your loved ones will get because you accomplished this one thing, the more leverage you're creating in yourself to get it done. This is the power of your brain. Again, your brain is going to fight or flight. It's going to want to go towards it, to attack, or want to run away from it. It all depends on what it's perceiving. And what it's perceiving is going to be determined on you, on how you receive this information. So use your brain. Learn to use your brain to create power in you, to create a high emotional state, to create high powerful emotions, quality emotions that's going to help you to move forward, propel you forward into really accomplishing what you want. It's about your perspective. The power of perspective. So let's look at those things in your life, okay? Those things that you want to accomplish, your goals. Now, when you look at it, of course, there's going to be things along the way that you're going to suffer with, right? That are going to be hard. They're going to have to overcome. That's normal. That's okay. But as they come up, you need to be very disciplined in your thinking. Very strong in your mind and not taking every thought captive. When it starts to get into negative, into the lack, what if this, oh, I can't do this, you need to interrupt it very quickly because those limiting thoughts will create a limiting emotional state. Now you start to feel, you're starting to think defeatedly, right? You're thinking like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this right now because there's a lot of other things on my plate. Or you start to talk that way and move that way and it creates this emotional state that's very low quality. Now you're thinking of your solutions and your ideas of your action plan through that low quality. So that's even more overwhelming because you're like, man, I can't do this, right? You get very discouraged. So on the other hand, you have to look at these things and say, okay, yeah, I don't like this right now, but I'm not going to allow this to create a low quality energy. So me as a leader need to interrupt this and see this as, okay, yeah, this is the problem, this is an obstacle, but you know what? I can do this. And I start to tell my brain different things. I can do this, and not only can I do this, but I will do this. And not only will I do this, but I want to do this. Why do I want to do this? My brain's going to start to fight and resist, right? No, you don't want to do this because this equals pain. You need to avoid this. It's not going to be good for you. Your brain starts to tell you. But you need to be like, you know what, brain, shut up. Because I can see past this problem into the potential, into what is possible. Let me show you, brain. And you need to convince your brain. You need to program your brain. You need to tell your brain of what is really possible here because your brain doesn't see it yet. If your brain doesn't see it, it's going to want you to avoid it. So you need to be very clear in creating this image using your imagination, right? Using your brain like this, like a projector screen where you're projecting your future in this image form. You're creating this movie of what you want, but you are making this movie a good one. Like, okay, brain, yeah, before I wanted to avoid this, but let me show you why we're not this time. Because as we accomplish this, you're going to feel really good about yourself. You're going to feel accomplished. You're going to feel, you're going to feel like you achieved this, like you're more than enough, that it's going to build your confidence. And not only this, if you accomplish this one thing, brain, it's going to impact your family, your kids. It's going to impact your team. Your team is going to be better. Like they're going to make more money. And I start to really create all this image of what is possible in my future if I overcome this one thing, if I achieve this one goal. And now my brain starts to say, oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah. So this is, it's going to be a little bit of pain, but it's a pain with a purpose. And this pain, the purpose of this pain is going to be so much more pleasure. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying, Richard. Now I can see. So I can see past this now. Okay, then we can do this. You know what? And then all of a sudden your motivation starts to go up, right? You start to get more like, empowered, like, yeah, I can do this because your brain is in agreement now. And your brain is starting to create this emotional state where now it's in agreement too, where you're just like, man, now nothing can stop you. Now your mind, your emotions, everything is in agreement because you created this new image, this new possibility through your imagination. And this is you using the power of your brain as a tool to move yourself towards what you want to accomplish, rather than your brain automatically having that fight or flight response and getting you to want to move away from it. Because if you don't understand how to do it, your brain will do that. Because anything, again, that equals pain, anything that equals discomfort or any of that, your brain's going to want to move away from it. Even if it's something like working out, eating right, loving somebody, being patient with them, forgiving somebody. These are all good things that you know you should be doing. But if your brain sees it as bad, as something that's negative, that's something that's going to equal pain, then you won't do it. So learn how to use your brain. Learn how to use this powerful tool that you have. Because when you do, I'm telling you, you become unstoppable.